What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Couple Things.
With Shawn and Andrew.
I'm really excited for this one, based off what the team has said, who has scripted this for us, and everybody who has submitted all these stories. This is about to be a good one. It is reacting to your worst dates.
I got a lot of texts, personally, of people who wanted to share their stories anonymously.
Really?
But I've heard from the grapevine, the grapevine, that some of these are wild. So
we have not read them yet. It will be an interesting episode because we will be sharing these stories, which are at length, and then giving you our reactions. Bear with us because these are supposed to be somewhat shocking.
Yeah. And this is just from our Instagram.
I know.
So I'm sure there's crazier stories out there, but I'm excited to see what our people go through. You know?
Yeah. Couple of life updates for you guys. We did launch our second podcast, which is called Second Cup.
That's right. It's going to be on the same YouTube channel that you find Couple Things, but it'll have a different RSS feed. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, it'll be a different show, have its own feed. So check it out. It'll be our interview show. I'm excited for it.
I'm so excited for that. Also, I think by the time you listen to this, we will be in Europe. But as of right now, not to confuse things, we are getting ready to leave.
Yes.
And we are so excited. I have no idea what to expect. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it will be very crazy.
Yeah, I don't know where to set my expectations. So we're going over for the Olympics. We're staying downtown Paris. We don't have tickets to anything.
Nope.
We know we have some work obligations. We don't know what those are.
To give you a little more detail with the no ticket thing, Andrew and I are credentialed as media. So Andrew and I can get into any event to cover for media. However, the no ticket situation is a little sticky because it seems to be very confusing this year. And I don't know how to get our kids and our moms in. So we're just going to try to figure it out as we go.
We're going to have a good time. It'll be an adventure. And I'm excited for it. But Shawn and I had a really fun opportunity to have a couple days to ourselves.
Yes.
We went to Turks and Caicos, actually with a group of friends.
Life-changingly beautiful.
We had some wonderful family help take care of the kids while we were gone. But we're going to be all together as a family now for, I guess, the next 6 weeks.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So it was nice that Shawn and I got 3 nights together. Turks and Caicos is beautiful. We had a lot of fun giggles, a lot of good memories.
A lot of good memories. My favorite was probably 2 favorites, just to give you a quick little thing. One, there was one day where it absolutely torrential downpour, like storm weather. And we were kind of all sitting there on the brink of like, oh, this is kind of a bummer. And then we were like, you know what? Let's just be kids. And we went sprinting down to the beach. I think someone said last one there is a rotten egg. We went sprinting down to the beach and we played beach volleyball in a torrential downpour for probably 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a fun day.
And it was incredible. The other one was we were on a boat out in the ocean and out of nowhere, a dolphin swims up and is basically chasing the boat within like arm's length distance. You could touch him. Jumping out of the water, having the time of his life. Then we got in the water, and he was like swimming with us. It was so magical.
Shawn was giggly. You were like a giggly little girl. It was hilarious.
So much so that one of our friends had like shared the video with someone and thought it was Drew.
Yeah.
Because of the sounds I was making. But no.
We also parasailed in some very steep winds.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a great time, and I'm glad that we get to spend the rest of the summer with the family.
Me too, baby.
And I'm glad that you and I got that special time together. So it's going to be a wild couple weeks, but you guys have some wild dates that we need to talk about. So let's roll into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay.
You got the first one?
Yes. Wild date story number 1. This person says that they went on a double date with my cousin and his friends. We went mini golfing, and on the last hole, my cousin swung back and knocked his date's front tooth out. Like clean out. There was tons of blood and her tooth was gone. She was such a good sport though. And instead of just going home, we went to In-N-Out and she drank a milkshake with the straw through her tooth hole.
No.
Wow. Hold on.
No.
That chick's wifey, dude. She's got wife material for sure.
Dude.
Don't you need to go see like a doctor? What do you do?
I think you need to. I think you should go see like a dentist. Bro, what?
I respect the game. She just went to get a milkshake right after.
Wow. That would be traumatizing for both parties. Especially if you're in the
Dang.
dating process where you're trying to like court each other. That's like, what's the movie with Will Smith and Eva Mendes where he knocks her out on the jet ski?
Hitch. Yeah.
That's Hitch level right there.
Wow. Okay, that's a good
Alrighty.
start.
Number 2, I once went on a date with this guy who was super nice, chivalrous, and charming. Except while we were at the restaurant, he kept wiggling in his seat and moving around subtly. I had no idea why until I realized that he was scratching his butt with his hands. After he scratched, he tried to discreetly smell his fingers by bringing his hands up to his face like he was trying to rest his head on his hand or pretending to scratch his nose and face. Worst of all, he didn't even go to the bathroom to wash his hands before we started eating the finger food appetizers.
Oh, I'm out. Unless this guy's got some tough illness, I'm out. You know?
That's nasty.
Wow.
That is nasty.
I don't. But also, how is he sitting on his hand?
I don't know. I'm
wiggling
so
around?
confused.
And then he tries. I knew a guy on my football team that always tried to smell his doo doo.
His poop?
Yeah.
No. Why?
He thought there was something instinctual about it, and it told him if he was healthy or not. He actually became a doctor. It's a true story. What do you think about that? Do you think there's something to it?
Is it the doctor I know?
I don't know who that is still. Oh, don't. Wait. Do you think there's something to it, though?
No, that's gross. It's just gross. It's like bad hygiene. It's nasty. It's a bad habit. Don't do it.
Okay, number 3. I got asked out by a guy in my math class for the first week of school. He took me to see a comedian. We got to our seats, and then about 20 minutes later, someone tapped me on my shoulder and told me I was sitting in their seat. My date looked at me embarrassed and told me he honestly wasn't sure if I would say yes to the date, so he wait, what? He bought my ticket separately, and my seat was actually on the other side of the Giant Stadium by myself. I had to get up and walk across the entire stadium and watch the whole show alone. I thought he was going to say...
Like he ordered...
he invited someone else.
I mean, it's sweet, but it's also like sad. You get it?
Wait, but this guy bought a ticket by himself then too, huh?
He did. And then last minute wanted to ask a date out thinking, oh, there's no chance. But then she says yes. So he like scrambles to buy a second ticket, brushes it off. I think the only thing he should have done though is like when the person came to sit in her actual in their actual seat and she had to move, leave.
Yeah, I
Go
agree.
Take a walk.
Let's do this. Let's put like red, beige, or green flag on these. So the first one with tooth out. Is that
it's a green flag.
It's fine.
It's fine. Like it was that's not intentional. So a green flag. Green flag on her part too.
Yeah, I would say it's fine on his part who knocked the tooth out. Green flag on her part for how she dealt with it.
The guy who scratches his butt, that's a red flag.
Yeah. There'd need to be quite a bit of explaining.
I think if it ended at like butt scratching, I'd kind of be like, maybe he has something wrong, like whatever. But the fact that he kept trying to smell his fingers.
Dude, just do that on your own time, man. So that's a red flag.
Red flag.
The comedy club, I'm going to say like beige.
I think it's like beige.
Yeah.
Like he was trying and then he probably got freaked out and like didn't know what to do. Beige flag.
Yeah. Number 4, you got it.
I ate at a taco place and things were going great. Food was good, conversation was flowing, and my date was pretty cute. Then he said, man, I'm so full. I'll name my food baby Philip. I said, okay. He says, do you want to know why I would name him Philip?
Oh, no.
I said, I guess so. And he replies, because I'm going to fill up the toilet.
Dude.
Haven't seen him since, and I have no plans to.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh.
That's maybe a joke you make to your other dude friends when you're in like middle school or high school. Here's my concern. In Nashville,
I don't think you would even make that joke to me.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like right now, married, 10 years in.
Well, no, because it's not really funny unless
It's
you're in
not.
middle school or high school, but it's definitely
And your closest friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my concern though with Nashville. It has some all boys schools,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like there's this lack of awareness that could be a side effect of going to an all boys school where you think that that's fine to say on your first date, you know,
Interesting.
a joke like that.
Yeah. I think, like, if you're on a date at any point in your relationship, 30 years married, first date, you always want to maintain a little bit of, like, courtship where you're trying to impress each other. You're trying to, like, put your best foot forward. This is just not good, buddy. I'd say kind of a red flag.
Well, just because the sense of humor seems
Yeah.
to be not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think age does matter, though. You know?
Yeah.
It does make me think of Carl Pillimer, a guy we interviewed early on in the Couple Things show days. And he wrote a book called The 30 Lessons on Love. And one of the things that one of these elderly people say is like they try not to break wind, is how they said it, in front of their significant other, because they want to preserve this courtship, or like, I want you to have the best image of me.
Yeah. Which could be like a little extreme for people, which I totally get. But it's that idea of you always want to put your best foot forward for your spouse.
Let me sit, because I want to unpack this, because that was extreme for me when I first heard it.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've gotten older, and like it is, when I first read it, I was like, oh, that's so inauthentic, or, you know, like, oh, why are you trying to force an image? But then I realize you see really already the best and worst sides of me, and I don't need to enhance the worst sides, you know? It says something about how I want you to perceive me, or how much I care about you, by wanting to preserve that.
I get that. I agree.
You ready to move on? Next, number 5. My date brought me to a golf course at night and set up a picnic. It was beautiful until the sprinklers turned on and pelted me in the back of the head with the force of a fire hose. I looked like a wet rat, and it hurt so bad I wanted to cry.
I mean, it's a cute moment that could be embraced and like made fun.
It stinks that she wanted to cry.
I know. If it hurt, like, that's sad. But you should also like tell your date that.
I'd say this is not a red flag. Is that your stomach? Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Wow. You got Philip in there?
Gross. No, I haven't had breakfast.
This guy didn't mean to, probably, you know. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
If Shawn and I are coming off, I feel like a little tired. It's morning on Thursday, and we had a late night last night.
We did.
I don't know if I ever want to stay up that late again. We stayed
Never.
up till 11, and it was too much.
It's important to me that the supplements I take are of the highest quality, and that's why for 4 years I've been drinking AG1. Unlike many supplement brands, AG1 is researched and developed by an in-house team of scientists, doctors, and nutritionists with decades of experience in their respective fields.
Quality for AG1 is a commitment backed by expert-led scientific research, high-quality ingredients, industry-leading manufacturing, and rigorous testing. At each step of the process, AG1 goes above and beyond industry standards.
I know I can trust what's in every scoop of AG1 because it's tested for 950 contaminants and banned substances, while the industry standard typically only tests for 10, which is wild.
Taking care of my health should not be complicated, and AG1 simplifies this by covering my nutritional bases and setting myself up for success in just 60 seconds. AG1's ingredients are heavily researched for quality, and I love that every scoop also includes prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for gut support.
So, if you want to replace your multivitamin and more, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription at drinkag1.com/couplethings.
That's drinkag1.com/couplethings. Check it out.
Okay, number 6. I'll try to get a little more chipper for you, okay? I met a guy at a restaurant and we had a great time. I had bad gas, but held it in. I held it all in until I was back in my car driving home when I let it all out. It was bad. We came to a light and my date ran, to my car, knocking on my window to tell me something. I didn't want to roll down my window because he would get a big whiff of what I was holding in for hours, but I had no choice. I embarrassedly, slowly buzzed down my window, and the smell hit his face. He looked at me like I had something dead in my car. He literally just wanted to tell me my taillight was out and ran back to his car. He did call me again, but I was so embarrassed. I never answered his calls.
This is where a sense of comedy comes in handy. You have to like just break the ice, acknowledge the elephant in the room, and say,
Really?
My stomach hurts. If the window goes down and it hits my nose, I think so.
Why wouldn't she just have rolled down her window real quick and been like, oops, and then roll down the wrong window, let it all get out?
Dang, that's a bummer. I don't think she should have screened his calls though,
I think she should have answered his calls and then, down the road been like, I'm so sorry, I'm so embarrassed, and then got it out.
Dang, dude. That brings back such bad memories of being in school. I don't know what it is about that age. Actually, it's probably all the junk food we were crushing those days. But I remember like sitting in class and your stomach is upset. You just have to hold on to it until did that ever happen to you? That was like a weekly thing for me.
Yes.
That was my least favorite part of school was the stomach issues that associated.
Were you drinking like a gallon of milk at a time?
I crushed milk. I had like a box of cereal a day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Number 7. Met this guy online, and he was part of a skydiving team that was performing during a minor league game. And as a first date, he offered me tickets. Since he was performing, he wasn't able to sit with me during the game, and the plan was to enjoy the game and meet up after. I ended up sitting next to these girls, and after chatting with them for a while, we all realized we were invited by the same guy. Not sure what his plan was there, but I didn't stick around after that discovery.
Dude.
No.
Red flag. Come
it's
on.
Just like, that's
you
just
sat
dumb.
them all next to each other, too? This guy's real dumb.
He's probably like, this is the peak cool thing I could show anybody, so let me
invite all these girls.
Let me do a shotgun approach and kind of see
and then all meet up later.
That's not good thinking. Bad strategy.
It's kind of like you before our first date, just juggling the women.
Not like that. Not like that. Number 8.
I was on a date with this guy, and halfway through our meal, he took out his phone and started filming a selfie video for his apparent YouTube channel. He apologized to his subscribers for not posting a video in a while. I thought it was so weird because I was literally just sitting there eating as he filmed. Later, he kissed me and let out a huge scream in my face out of nowhere because he got a cramp in his leg and couldn't move it. After he left, I looked him up on YouTube and he had 16 subscribers. I texted him the next day saying the chemistry wasn't there, and he posted a quote on his Instagram saying, quote, "One day somebody will realize what they could have had, and it'll be the biggest mistake of their life." ... We had only hung out twice.
Wow, 16. It doesn't matter. I mean, here we're in this business.
Yeah.
Right. And it is like you only need. It doesn't matter about the numbers, but there's just no excuse.
No, I don't care if you have 16 million subscribers. You're not pulling out a video to selfie yourself.
There's a time and a place, and that's not it.
I feel like he was in some way maybe trying to impress her, or like he got awkward. It couldn't fill empty space, but like, no.
The cramp in the leg and the scream in the face, that could be funny.
That could be funny.
I mean, this guy sounds like he has a sense of humor, and I hope he was doing it like as a joke.
Dude.
16 subscribers. Filming a video. That's great. Number 9. This guy had planned out our date, and it all went great until he got a call from work. He worked as an embalmer, which is someone who preserves human remains. His boss told him that there was a body ready right now at the hospital that needed to be picked up ASAP. So we drove to the hospital.
No.
I waited in the car as he went in and came back with a human body in a bag.
Shut up.
He put it in the back seat and slid it forward on the gurney. So here I am sitting in the front seat with a legit dead body behind me. We took it to the morgue, and then he proceeded to show me the other bodies that were in the freezer he has. It was definitely interesting, but safe to say this was our first and last date because I was so weirded out. Wow.
I don't know what his move was there. I feel like
I've never been around a dead body. That would shake me.
that would shake me. I have to say this, and this is not going to go over well. So I apologize to anybody who's listening who is an embalmer, but it might, if you are an embalmer, maybe you got to do something like this to really find your match. Because I feel like not many people are okay with.
Not on the first date, though. There's an onboarding process.
Oh my gosh.
You're not going first date.
It's not okay.
I'd like to hear the other side of these stories.
But like, at what point in a relationship do you tell someone, I'm an embalmer?
No, you could tell somebody on the first date, and then you could tell them, yeah, it's interesting. It's tough because we're around dead bodies. But you don't
go pick dead bodies up all the time.
I think this is like, date 5.
I don't know, bro. That's weird.
That's tough.
Okay. Number 10. My first date was with a guy who had nothing planned, but I really liked him, so I decided to go along with it. We drove around for 4 hours and conveniently, quote, ended up at what my town considers make-out point. So I knew what he wanted to do. He then turns Hakuna Matata on the radio.
Pretty good song.
Who puts on Hakuna freaking Matata to set the mood for a first kiss? He was mad when I told him I wouldn't kiss him to a Disney song. Anyways, we ended up dating a little bit, but then he broke up with me over email. I should have known. I don't know. That's not a red flag at all. I think that's really cute and funny.
Is Hakuna Matata a great song? Yes. Is it a great song for romance? I haven't tried. So probably not, though, is what I'm thinking. And makeout point. Does every town have a makeout point?
I don't know. Do we have a makeout point?
Yeah, for sure.
Where?
Love Circle. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I took you there.
Why did you take me there, babe?
To look at it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful skyline.
I don't know. I feel like if that was his personality and it was like cute, like maybe he was trying to be like childish. It's cute. But I also don't like that he didn't have any plans for a first date.
There's so much that could be filled in here, like gray area, where it's like if he's really stubborn about not turning Hakuna Matata off, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
If he turns it on as a joke and then he turns it off when you're like done with the joke, then that's fine. It is interesting thinking about the early days of love, though.
I know.
It's like there is so much embarrassing things that happen.
Yes.
I think that's good if they're responded to well on both parties. And that's kind of what the whole thing is about, kind of. It's like, how is she going to respond? Let's get in as many new situations as possible to see how I respond, to see how you respond, to see how we respond together. Does she make fun of me or whatever, And each person needs something different. But anyway, number 11. My cousin set me up on a blind date at a baseball game. We were eating sunflower seeds, love it, and my date had one in his teeth, so I was nice and told him about it. He then proceeded to reach over and pluck a hair out of my head and start flossing his teeth with it. I was mortified, and the ick was immediately in full force. Like, he didn't even ask to take my hair. When we got in the car, I immediately pulled the fake fall asleep move so I wouldn't have to interact with him for the rest of the date. Wow, the fake fall asleep move is...
Fake fall
Can you just
asleep?
do that? Like, you get done with the baseball game, you're like, I'm going to take a nap on the drive home.
I don't know. I don't know if this is an ick.
It's not.
It could be funny.
But it's not right to snipe somebody's. You'd be pissed at me right now.
Yeah. And it was a blind date, so the fact that it's like first date might be a little much, but I don't think it's like massive end of the spectrum.
It could be funny.
It could be funny.
It doesn't sound like it was taken like that.
No.
So it's probably a red flag. The fact that these are received like this,
Yeah.
How it's processed makes how you make somebody feel.
But also the fake fall asleep move type. I don't know. Maybe I think a lot of these could also be coming from a funny point. Like maybe he thought it could be funny.
That's what I'm saying. But the fact that it wasn't received like that, to me, they're not compatible.
It's so hard to on a first date because you're trying so hard. And and you don't know how to like get across your sense of humor. So I can see potentially if something falls flat, people panic, and instead of being like, dude, I'm so sorry. I was literally just trying to be funny. I think they panic and go quiet, and it makes them look like a D-bag or something. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good insight there. Go ahead.
Because like if you do that to me now, I might be like, what the frick? But it's also like funny.
We'd be able to get over it though.
Yeah.
It would be addressed. We'd move it through it.
Okay, number 12. Went on a date with a college baseball player, a catcher, and for the date, he took me to the mall and went to every sports store. In every sports store, he swung multiple bats and tried on multiple catcher's mitts for hours. Gloves down, the most boring date I have ever been on.
First of all, this chick sounds funny. Gloves down, like hands down.
Yeah.
You get it.
I get that. Feels a little selfish on his part. Self-indulgent, maybe, too.
Yeah.
He also doesn't seem like he was super interested in her.
Yeah. I think that's my big issue with it.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 13. For my first Match.com date, I was so nervous to meet up with someone I met on the internet. He said something funny and I overly reacted with a full belly laugh and kind of flung my head forward and stabbed my cheek with a plastic straw. When I pulled back, it was stuck in my cheek and then it fell off and I was bleeding. I had to hold a napkin in my face for the rest of the date. It was horrible. That's a bummer.
It's a bummer, but it's also not a red flag. Like, if she really thought he was that funny and that happened, that's a bummer, but...
Dang, a straw in the face, though?
That takes a lot of force.
Jeez.
A plastic straw, too?
That's funny. You know what time it is, babe?
What?
It's 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And that's what I call Slate Part 2 time, okay? I love these. They are the ultra-filtered milk and coffee flavored Slate. Then you have the high-protein milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
Ultra-filtered milk. Tastes delicious. Mm-hmm. They have caffeine versions and uncaffeinated versions.
Dark chocolate's the best. 175 milligrams of caffeine, which is like 2 cups of coffee.
No, this is amazing. It tastes so good. This is a mocha latte. They have different flavors. They have like the caramel latte. They have what do they have? The
French vanilla.
Yes.
They have dark chocolate, which is my favorite. Regular chocolate.
Those aren't caffeinated.
These are caffeinated.
This has 175 milligrams of caffeine in it, equivalent to 2 cups of coffee. Still has the 20 grams of protein that you can expect from all Slate drinks. Still has 0 grams added sugar that you can expect from all Slate drinks. And also tastes delicious, like you can always expect from Slate drinks.
Funny story, I was actually told by the doctor a couple weeks ago that I needed to massively increase my protein intake. So I've been crushing these, and they're really, really good. Dark chocolate is my favorite. We even give them to the kids, obviously not the caffeine one. But we give these to the kids because it's very clean ingredients, a lot of protein, which everyone needs. They're amazing. You can get them in certain grocery stores like Target, Kroger, or just off of Amazon, which is where we get them. You can use our code EastFam for 15% off at slatemilk.com. They're amazing.
All of these are high protein.
Yes.
Keto friendly, gluten free. We got lactose free, nut free, soy free, and they taste delicious. I literally have one in the morning after my workout.
Sweetened with monk fruit.
And I have one in the afternoon for the caffeine. Delicious. If you're interested, click here, use code EastFam. Get 15% off your order at slatemilk.com.
When I was dating my ex-boyfriend, I went to go meet his parents for the first time. I was in high school and I was nervous for this moment. Their names were Jarrett and Kelly. When we walked inside the house, I went to greet them and proceeded to confidently say, "Hi, Jelly. Hi, Carrot," swapping the first letters of their names. I felt so embarrassed as the room broke out into laughter and never lived it down the whole 2 years we dated. Definitely a top embarrassing moment for me. Love your podcast and all you guys do.
That's funny. Hi, Jelly. Hi, Carrot. You know when you get something stuck in your head?
Yeah.
You're like, just don't call them Jelly and Carrot. And then you can't move past that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that embarrassing, though. I think it's cute. You dated for 2 years.
Yeah. Not that embarrassing.
Yeah.
Jarrett and Kelly. How about that?
Jarrett.
15. I went on a date with a guy who was an Elvis impersonator. I didn't know this beforehand. And he did a really loud Elvis impression at dinner, and I was so embarrassed that I couldn't eat. Also, in his car, his name was embroidered everywhere. Headrest, armrest, backseat, etched into the dashboard. When we went to a movie after dinner, he decided to hold my hands. Yes, both hands at the same time in the movie. I deleted his number later.
Interesting.
That does feel aggressive. You know? It's like it feels more controlling. Right? Oh, wait. But
I don't know.
is he
was
holding
it like two hands? Like this? Like holding a hand in each hand? Or is it like two hands
This is
in one hand?
fascinating. Dude, people are so interesting because maybe that's how his parents showed affection and he's
know.
trying to be sweet, but then it comes off as weird.
Also, why the name everywhere? Why did he have his name embroidered everywhere? Was it comedic or was it serious?
Boys in high school with their first cars get weird, I feel like. Like you want to make it yours. You got the subwoofer in the back seat. Try to put some
Embroidered
fancy.
your name on the headrest, armrest, backseat, and etched into the dashboard?
Did you ever have a seat cushion on your
No.
You never did the seat?
I never did the seat cushion. Or the steering wheel handle.
You never did that?
Never.
Well, me neither. But that was
really
no, I never did. But that was that was popular in high school. You know, because you're trying to customize. You got whatever you're hanging from the rear view. You had something hang from your rear view.
Yeah.
What?
I have no idea.
We had JD bought the smallest pair of Jordans that he could, and we hung it
like baby shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I haven't thought about this until just now.
Those are baby shoes. Not like a keychain, like like infant shoes.
They were really cool.
As if to say to everyone, I have a child.
I have a kid. Oh, that's funny. Jenny, what was up with that, dude?
Wow.
Oh, man.
This guy feels a little different.
Yeah. Elvis impersonator. Is that his full-time job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I also read into this like people are trying, you know, but
would you rather this Elvis guy go full on or him try to hide himself, you know? It's a little give and take on a first date. Like you should probably rein back on some things, you know?
You shouldn't like be Elvis the whole night, maybe.
Right.
But
this is something that you would get super embarrassed at if I did some loud impression.
I don't know if I would get so embarrassed that I couldn't eat, which is what it says. I don't know.
It's tough because you're on a first. It's like, I don't know this guy. If we're married and I do that and you're like, all right, well, I'm married to this guy, so I'm going to have to deal with this. But I'm sitting with someone I don't know who just did this embarrassing thing, you know?
But you also don't want to be vanilla on a first date. So you want to show character. You want to figure out quickly if like what you're about. I don't know what
there seems to be some weird signals coming off, but you get the next one.
Okay. I went on a date to the restaurant Islands. The restaurant is called Islands. I had a bit of a tummy ache and I was kind of gassy.
Dang.
I finally had to let out a silent fart. Little did I know that would be the most horrid smelling one of my life. I smelled it and just prayed my date wouldn't notice. Then someone walked by our table and my date smelled it and started commenting very loudly. Oh my gosh. Do you smell that? I think those people just farted as they walked past our table. It's so bad.
Oh, man.
I absolutely died. Then he kept talking about how disgusted he was that someone would do that.
Oh.
I couldn't take it anymore. I calmed him down and whispered across the table, "That was me. I'm so sorry. I couldn't let you keep blaming those other people out loud." I was mortified. Somehow he didn't leave right then. We've now been married for 14 years. We still laugh at the date. It's one of our favorite stories.
Wow. That's great. I like how that story resolved.
Me too.
She fessed up, you know.
I was afraid he was going to leave, but I do think it might have been slightly a red flag to like be outing those people so loudly.
Yeah.
But if they've now figured it out and come full circle, married 14 years.
That's great.
I'm also really proud that she said something.
I like that story.
Me too.
That's good. That's like a great example of responding to something.
It is.
17. My date took me mini golfing. That seems to be a popular first date.
It's a great first date.
Well, a great first date if you're trying to have a bad first date, it seems like.
True.
Because they keep showing up here. Anyway, mini golfing and tried all sorts of trick shots. Sorry Sorry. Tried all sorts of tricks to touch me, like helping with my swing. On the way home, I was driving, and he told me since I lost, I had to choose for him to either kiss me or punch me. I really didn't like him, so I chose punch. Never saw him or his stupid fedora again. These are hard to read because we don't know. Like,
I know.
each style is so different,
Yeah.
and like the word choice batch is random.
This one feels a little like an ick because the trying all sorts of tricks to touch me and being like, you have two choices and two choices only. Kiss me or punch me. Like, it feels a little not okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, helping with my swing, it goes back to signals, like what vibes are you giving off, right? And it's like, oh, this guy actually is cares about mini golf and he wants to help me swing. That touch feels different than.
Oh, let me help
It
you.
would be received different than like let me.
The way this is written, though, it doesn't seem like she was giving off the like, oh, help me. It seems like he was.
Which makes all the difference.
Really trying to put the moves on, which I don't think is okay.
Yeah, and the kiss me or punch me, not a good move.
I kind of like that she punched him.
Yeah. Stupid fedora. All right, we got the next.
Okay. A guy left me at the theater during a movie date because he literally forgot he was on a date.
Dang.
What?
Dang.
He drove us there and mid-movie. He left for a while, so I thought maybe he was having a bathroom issue. He never came back, so I left to go find him in the lobby and started to get worried. I ended up texting him like, hey, are you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm fine. You? I asked him where he was, and he said he was chilling at home because he was at a lame movie earlier and left.
What?
He then asked if I wanted to hang out. I was like, yeah, I'm at the movie. We're on a date. Long story short, the guy had a brain injury and frequently forgot short-term memory things. He never told me about this beforehand. He felt terrible, and I gave him another chance. Our second date, he didn't ghost me at least, but nothing much happened after that.
Wow, that's a crazy story. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the movie.
We're on a date.
Oh, that's great. That's my favorite one.
That's a 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's at least endearing that she was going with it.
Yeah, I'm fine. You? Oh, man. All right. My date put in dip right before we went into a movie and then expected me to empty my purse to sneak in his spit bottle. I said no. So he bought a bottle of water and told me to chug the whole thing so he'd have something to spit in. Who does that?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
On a first date, dude.
No. Priorities.
First of all, substances in general on a first date.
Not great.
There'd have to be some like discussion if you're gonna, not great generally.
Yeah.
Would not prescribe it.
Also, why didn't he just chug the bottle?
He had a dip in.
No.
He should have.
No. Number 20. The date itself was fine, but when we went to say goodbye, he said, and I quote, "Up for a smoochie?" My ick was off the charts. Like, what grown adult man says smoochie? I said, maybe next time. And he said, your loss. Haha, just kidding. As I walked away, there was no second date.
I don't know about on a first date, but I would say something dumb like that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, but like, if it's like your first kiss, I feel like that's a little.
Yeah, it's not a good story to tell. Like,
Up for a smoochie? I also feel like when you get to the first kiss vibe, it's hard to navigate. It's hard, like you're both nervous and you're freaking out, and you want. At least he was trying to ask.
I just got a little feeling of our first kiss.
I know, it's like nervous.
We did ours good.
Thanks, babe. I agree. But like, you know what I mean? You're nervous and you're trying to figure out, do you want to? Do I want, like, so maybe he was nervous, but it's not great.
Last one. Let's do one more. this episode, and then we can do a part 2.
Okay.
So stay tuned. Last one. I picked a guy up for a date. We were driving on the highway, and he reached over to kiss my cheek. Why? I have no idea. And I said, haha, that's nice. Please don't do that when I'm driving, though. And then he did it again and bit my earlobe. I had something fall in the cup holder and tried not to think about it. Or I heard something fall in the cup holder and tried not to think about it. Then 5 minutes later, I said, I think I swallowed the back of your earring. We didn't even get to the start of the date yet. So then I had to survive the date and drive him home after.
Huh. That's an ick.
Don't touch me while I'm driving. For sure.
Also, okay.
The earlobe thing is way aggressive, I think. Don't you?
Yeah.
That's like...
After being told, don't touch me.
Yeah. That's a red flag.
Yeah, I would have dropped him off and been like, I gotta go.
Would you have? I'd have probably... I feel like you do have to just kind of suffer.
Ugh.
I'm the guy, if a bad first date, we're going to finish the date, and then I'll drop you off, and then that'll be that.
Yeah.
You would cut it?
No. Back in the day,
I could see you doing that.
Not.
You're stone cold.
No. I remember finding myself on a date that I didn't even know I was on, and I had no business being on the date.
Are you telling our first date story?
No. I remember, I will never forget, being asked to go to a basketball game by this guy. He's like, the whole team's going. Do you want to go with us? That's literally what he said. And I was like, yeah, fun. Come to find out, he like picks me up, takes me to dinner. And I was like, this feels weird. Why are we at dinner? I'm obviously not saying that. And then he like takes me to the game and he's trying to hold my hand. And I'm like, literally figuring out we're on a date. The team was not there, by the way. It's just us. I was like, no.
You told me that story. I remember that.
I remember walking around with like my hands in my pockets or just like.
Why?
I didn't want to hold his hand.
Is that a thing?
I was not interested in this guy at all.
Do people hold hands on first date?
He thought so.
He was trying to hold hands.
Babe, he was literally like holding my hand. And I was like, no. And then it was just us sitting in this basketball game. And I was like, where's the team? Where are the guys?
Did you ask?
No. I figured it out,
This is what Shawn does when she gets embarrassed or mad or really any emotion other than like happiness. She just goes quiet. Yeah.
And
short answers.
I had to do that
not
thing.
A lot of questions.
I had to do that thing on the date, like sitting next to each other because again, we're sitting next to each other at this basketball game. He's like, he keeps trying to hold my hand and stuff. I'm like turning my whole body away from him, hiding my hands. And I'm like, dude, I am not on a date with you. I am not on a date with you. And then again, driving me back to where I was staying, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if he tries to kiss me? I literally ran out of the car. I was like, bye.
That was in Dallas?
Yeah.
I remember that. Touch etiquette is an interesting thing. I'm not a big hand holder. I'm a big hugger, but not on a first date. I feel like there is like a whole ton of unwritten rules of like, here's how I would do for a hand hold. If we're on a date, probably not the first one. We're in a movie, say, I would like maybe like put my hand in a neutral zone.
Like a
50-50. I'm going to put some effort. Yeah. And then feel it out. Right?
Yeah.
And then we do that. And then it's like, okay, now we can do that. I still don't think I'd walk around. We don't do that. Walk around holding hands.
We do.
I think I'd probably do a side hug on a first date. I'm just trying to rip through some of these situations.
We do walk around holding hands a lot.
We do?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. I do a side hug on the first date, first time I met him. If it went well, I'd do a full hug. Probably no kiss.
No, you were not going to kiss me on the first date.
No.
I was sold. I was like, okay, I'll kiss you on the first date. But then you were
would?
like, no. No, but
My
it was more
worst case
meaningful
scenario.
the fact that you waited.
My worst case scenario is to think that I like want that above your company, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why my strategy generally with touch is like, hey, I'll put myself out there a little bit, but not enough to make you feel uncomfortable. Does that make sense?
So respectful. Yeah.
And I give big bear hugs. Not a lot of people are into that, so that would be a bad first impression.
But all these guys who are like being told, please don't touch me, and then they like go again. No, absolutely not. If I say don't touch me, do not touch me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, if you get told early on a date, don't touch me, that's not a good sign. Hate to say that, but yeah, it's not a good sign.
There's also a time and a place for it. So like, don't be making out in a movie theater is my thought.
Yeah.
That's not a great place for a first kiss, probably usually either.
No.
But you can like go to a movie and then go have a second part of the date where you're just like lovingly looking each other in the eye, having a conversation, and then maybe it goes down there. You know what I'm saying? There's things you could do to set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Get yourself in the mood.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of those people are icks. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
And a lot weren't bad.
I'm trying to think of my worst first date. Did I tell you this tickle story?
Yeah. Go ahead and share it.
No, that wasn't even a date either. That's what's so crazy.
You wanted a girl.
Freshman year of college.
She just wanted touch. Babe.
I've played football my whole life, right? And have not, I don't know, done the girl thing so much. It was just like football my whole life. I show up in college and there's girls everywhere, right? And then
everywhere. So then all over you.
One of them wanted to hang, and we always do group hangs with this girl. And then she was like, hey, you want to come over? And I thought it'd be a group hang. And then I get there and it was just us. Hey. And then she was like, hey, are you ticklish? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, me too. And then she grabbed my hand and just put it
down her pants.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very aggressive.
And then I was like, that does feel aggressive. But that's not a date, though. We didn't go on one after that. I'll tell you that much.
I've been on a first date before with a musician who all we did was sit in his car and he wanted to play me his music and ask me what he thought. And I was like...
I've been on one of those, too.
I was like, huh. Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't even my kind of music.
You'd have to be... No, there's no situation probably where that's a good idea.
I've also been on first dates that were like super aggressive, like with like... They were like creepy, where a guy would ask a question that was very inappropriate. Just wanting... I don't know. Just want to know all the sex stuff.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think we're going to hang out again.
Yeah, there's like this etiquette. You don't want to make the other person feel uncomfortable. Anyway, thank you for submitting those. That was a real treat. We're going to do a part 2. And I don't know if it goes... Do you like the cringe stories? Like, is that what we're going for?
Yeah.
Is the cringe? So like the harder to read and get through, the better?
I think we have more cringe stories even to share.
Yeah. Well, keep submitting them. Thank you all. We do have an Instagram just for our podcast. Make sure you check that out. And we'll see you next time. I'm Andrew.
I'm Shawn.
Peace.